it's great to see you. It's a beautiful sunny day in London, and I'm just so happy. I just love it when it's sunny. It makes me feel so wonderful, and I hope it makes you feel as good as I feel. Margo, how do you feel today?
Fantastic, the sun's out.
Turn your volume up, girl. Turn your volume up.
Right, let's. That's as high as it goes.
That's fine. Now I can hear.
Yeah. Good. Good. Yeah, I'm full of energy. Got up this morning, did my rebounding. Yeah.
What's a rebound?
When the sun's out, you just feel so alive. I love it.
What's a rebound?
A rebounder is a mini trampoline.
Mm-hmm.
You can use that to speed up your metabolism and, the lymph nodes. It actually helps those, to keep them clear and everything else like that. You can use to stay in shape.
Yeah.
I first started using that rather than, because I used to get up in the morning and run around the park. And when it came to winter time, that was then a little bit more difficult for me to do because obviously it was really dark and I didn't fancy running around in the dark on my own. So I got my little baby trampoline out and bounce on that for anything from 20 to 30 minutes. And you'd be surprised how much you can actually build up your stamina by bouncing on that. I usually use some of the weights as well to get the arms all going. And it's great. It's great. It helps you to keep in trim. It gets all of your body working, gets all the blood going, gets the heart pumping. You name it, it do it for you. But it's great. It is really great. It's one of those important things. You keep those lymph nodes in your body all flowing nicely, keeping health.
Great piece of information there. Sorry?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't quite catch that.
Things. Mm-hmm. The odd press up here and yeah, it's generally keeping fit. Yeah.
One of the things I do almost every day are press-ups. Now, I do a varied kind of press-ups, not the ones that you see these young athletic people doing. I improvise, but I make sure I do them every single day. And it's amazing how much stronger you become and how it really impacts on your posture, because I noticed that my shoulders were beginning to slouch, and sometimes I still see that happening, but there's more strength in my upper body. And not only does it give you strength, it also works on your core as well. It's a wonderful thing to do. Find something that you love to do. There's so many different sports and exercises that you can do to get back or get into the best shape of your life. Margo, you do a lot of sports and you've been doing a lot of sports for many, many years. Tell us about some of the sports that you've done, and in particular the ones that you really, really love.
The ones if we're talking from out the time, I've always loved doing athletics. It's my first love. And one of the things, I was like the 100 to 200 sprinter. Can't say I really love the long distances. Like I said, when you're looking at staying trim, it's about doing something you love. If you don't love doing it, you ain't going to enjoy it. And it's going to feel like a chore. And then you won't want to go back and do it again. So that's one of the reasons why when people, they pay for their gym membership, then they don't go. Because we all have these well-meaning intentions at the beginning of the year, and then within a couple of weeks, we just don't go, and people pay for the gym membership year upon year, and then they don't go because they don't like it. It's one of those things that when you're doing that sort of regime, I call it a regime, and you get up and you feel sore and stiff, I'm not surprised that people don't want to go back and do it, because I have been there. When I first started training in athletics club, I first did my training session, I got up the next morning, and when you feel stiff and sore? Well, I took that to another level. I couldn't bend my legs when I was coming down the stairs. I was stiff. So I can understand how people feel. But, there's times when you get past that level. But going back to your question, one of the things that I loved doing in my whole time, apart from the athletics, is netball, basketball, volleyball, rounders, you name it, I would play it. Wasn't very keen on hockey though, because the girls I used to play with were a little bit dangerous with those hockey sticks. But I really do, I do love it. I do actually love sport. And every now and again I do play basketball with my son. It taught me a very, very good lesson. When you think that you're fit, sometimes doing one sport isn't enough. If you change it up a little bit, then you start to exercise different parts of your body. And with me, I do use some of the dumbbells, and I'm not talking about the tiny ones that are a little bit bigger. Yeah, a little bit bigger size. I still like to work the upper body. I think it was a couple of years ago we were on the basketball pitch, and he wasn't moving very much, and I was putting so much effort in. I was tired, and I thought I was fit. So when I actually started getting up early and running in the mornings, by the end of the summer, I was the one who was making him work for the ball.
So right.
Don't get me wrong, he's an absolutely brilliant basketball player. He does all that fancy stuff at the, but it feels good when you know where your fitness level was, and then you bring it up. It makes you feel good. Obviously, your metabolism gets a lot better. Your breathing is a lot better. You don't get so tired. You've got more life and more vibrance. It's I can't explain it. All those people out there who've done it, you know exactly what I mean. It keeps you alive. You love it. It's fantastic, and participation is key. What I say to people, move your body. You don't have to be out there doing those types of sports, badminton, squash. There's all those other alternatives. There's dancing, there's Zumba, ballroom dancing, which we started a while back. Do what you love and things that you haven't done for a long time. As long as you are moving the energy in your body, you are then in a position where you can keep fit. And once you get that fitness level up, even brisk walking, power walking, it makes you feel like you've got the energy to do something else. What is that something else that you might want to do? I haven't come across that something else yet.
You will do pretty soon.
I'm open to the possibilities of whatever shows up to go ahead and do it.
Good. I mean, I'm echoing some of the things that you've done, because I've always been passionate about sports. As a youngster, I was quite a podgy. No, let's just be factual. I was a fat child, but I love sports, and I continued playing sports, netballs, rounders. Then I got invited to come and do some weights, and once I started that, I was absolutely hooked. I was a gym buff, loved it. Been doing that for years, as well as playing squash. And I would say squash has been my passion. I don't play it now, but I still play the game in my mind. And whenever I see people playing squash, I can just feel myself being on the court. The strategies that you have to have when you're playing squash, it's an amazing game. You're thinking all the time. You've got your opponent. You're positioning your opponents, because how you play the game is to win. And like most games, we're playing to win, but you have to know how to position your opponent. And the same thing applies to our lives. The same thing applies to our businesses. We're in a game and we're playing it to win. But in order to win, we have to put our opposition in a position where we are in the power space. Playing squash, that power place was on the tee. And if you can dominate that space, that tee, then you can dominate the game. And if you can dominate that tee in your life, then you can dominate the job. You can dominate the relationship. You can dominate your life. But you have to put yourself in that position. Sport is a wonderful thing, and you can condition yourself to win. You can create your life based on sports. What's some of the great sports players? And you talked about it, your son playing badminton, being a more younger person than yourself, and I guess more energetic. But he was using different muscles, because he didn't only play one game, he played many games, so he was able to flip between different muscles and adapt. So what can we do to adapt in our daily lives, in the game of life? That's what Transformations by Vanessa and Margo is all about.